week, I'm Dara O'Briain. Joined this week are Tom Allen, Zoe Lyons and Ed Gamble, Milton Jones, Hugh Dennis and Geoff Norcott. We start tonight with a round called Picture of the Week. I show the panel a topical image and ask them to tell me what's happening. So, what's going on here?
Oh, is this Theresa May modelling her bracelet that she's made from Panini football stickers?
Is she saying, yes, I'll screw this up too?
Is this Theresa May priming the detonator in Boris's surprise birthday present?
I never get Philip Hammond's hair, because it's like a side parting, but it's a centre parting as well. How has he done that?
More cleavage than parting, yeah.
But she's saying to the right wing of her party, come on, technology is the answer. I used an app the other day that helps track down immigrants called Uber.
My immigrants will be here in 4 minutes.
Is she thinking, this is the most fun I have ever had in my life?
Is she saying, yes, we could be brother and sister, couldn't we?
Is she so pessimistic about Brexit that she started an apprenticeship course?
You know, like, when you've got a really big deadline coming up, you attend to other jobs that don't really need doing?
Is she thinking, ha, 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 think of a caption for this, Mock the Week.
Does anyone have the
actual answer? Do you want the actual answer?
I would love the actual
Yes, of course. It's Theresa May because it is the Conservative Party conference.
Absolutely right. Thank you very much, Hugh. Yes, this is Prime Minister Theresa May visiting an engineering company in Birmingham this week. Birmingham hosted this year's Conservative Party conference, which saw May defend her Brexit plan, as well as announce a range of new policies. How do you think the conference went?
She's doing well, because she is up shit creek without a paddle, really. And worse still, if the paddle doesn't arrive by next March, it's going to get stuck in customs.
They've announced some really weird policies, haven't they?
They have.
To take the view away from Brexit. It's not all Brexit.
Yeah.
They've announced that waiters and waitresses will now be able to keep their tips, which is great. Unfortunately, there won't be any waiters or waitresses after March because they'll have all gone home.
It does feel like that's the most sort of middle-class policy you can put in, just so the middle classes don't feel awkward when they're sat in Carluccio's. Do you get the tip? Oh, fine, that's fine. Nothing else to worry about then. Great, great.
It is an awkward moment, though. I'll admit it, when you're going, do you get this? And they go, no. And you go, how can I get it to you? And suddenly you're a member of the resistance. And they're going, if you want to get me the tip, go to the bathroom and go to the 4th cubicle.
I think there should be a new policy, no tips for any waiter that doesn't write the order down.
Yes.
Right? So no tips for them, or one of those waiters who gets too friendly and sits down next to you at the table. They can fuck off.
Some restaurants do it already. I mean, this is just to get lots of restaurants in line, isn't it?
Yes.
And one of the restaurants that does give tips is Prezzo. And one of the tips they give is, don't work in our Salisbury branch if you...
That would be even better if you'd said Zizi's, which is the restaurant.
Was it Zizi's?
Was there ever a more middle-class thing to muddle up there? I mean, I thought I was like, oh, I've muddled up my high street pizzerias.
Well, they're trying to distract us from Brexit, aren't they?
Right.
She's desperate to distract us. So she's announced that there is to be a festival, a festival, a national festival celebrating achievement, which they are going to call The Festival.
It's supposed to be like a festival of Britain, isn't it? But what's that going to have? You know, like the Spice Girls, maybe the Magna Carta and a jar of Marmite.
The Morris dancers.
Come down the main stage. Yes, Stormzy's reading out the Times crossword.
If you're tutting the idea of a British festival, then you're sort of already getting into the swing of it.
Is there a thing that it's distracting us, and is there a risk that by 2022, you know, if we're all living in tents and having to queue up for the showers as a result of Brexit, but they'll be able to go, oh no, it's a festival. Don't worry.
Exactly. We got to get behind it. Be positive. You know, I know you all worry about Brexit. It's going to be fine. Everyone's worried. It's like Bake Off going to Channel 4. Do you know what I mean? We all thought.
That's great.
We all thought it'd be a disaster. It's just sort of all right, isn't it?
It's got better, I would say, Geoff. It's got better.
Bit of optimism, Britain. Come on, a bit of optimism.
I love running up to Tories, though, and saying, do you know what's occurred? Do you know what's occurred? And they say no, and then you say, someone from Kurdistan, you racist.
What solution, by the way, for Britain and Ireland closer together was suggested by Boris Johnson?
Oh, it's a great idea.
It's a really good idea. It's a really tangible, good idea.
He wants to build a big bridge in between Britain and Ireland, which just sounds like someone's asked him for a plan and he's panicked and come up with something on the spot, doesn't it? He's got, yeah, big bridge from here to Ireland and also an escalator up Ben Nevis. Would be good.
I'm not surprised at the bridge idea, because he loves this sort of thing, doesn't he? I mean, next it'll be, you know, Boris's Channel Cannon crossing, and he'll just come to Dover, stuff yourself in a cannon, surely good.
It's interesting how they think, like, a DIY project will bring the country together. I mean, like, I once tried to make a Billy bookcase with my dad, and within half an hour I was calling him a slag and crying.
Basically, there should be a disclaimer after everything Boris says. Please be aware, Mr Johnson may be overtired or had too many Smarties. Promises can be kept as well as broken.
What else did he do? How did he troll Theresa May?
He ran through some wheat fields or something?
He did.
Yes.
Oh. Yeah.
Oh. It looks like a terrible, like, catalogue, doesn't it?
The idea, I think, is that he is teasing Theresa May by recreating her naughtiest ever moment. So she should respond by taking a photograph of her shagging a junior researcher.
This looks like it would not only scare crows, it would make them vote Labour.
I'm not sure that is wheat.
I don't think it is. I think it's just dry grass. Yeah.
No, well...
But, you know, that sort of ruins the joke a little bit. Oh, Captain Agriculture here. Sorry, we've the wrong arable product in our joke.
Well, I think almost certainly the wheat will have been harvested by now.
Dear points of view, I was disappointed in a recent mock of the week. How did the Conservatives suffer an embarrassment before the conference had even started?
They had an app that failed. Well, it didn't fail. It had no security system on it.
No password.
No password.
An app with no password. You cannot go on to buy some light bulbs in a hurry without setting up a password which is deemed too weak repeatedly.
All people had to do was just guess the email of a member of Parliament, and they could log in. So you could just, I want to log into Boris Johnson's profile. You just be like, what's his email? blozzajoza69@hotmail.com.
How do you hack Jacob Rees-Mogg? Do you know what I mean? Does he even have email?
You rewrite his scroll.
Break the seal on his letter wax.
Technically, I think you have to intercept the carrier pigeon.
It's like an app like Grindr, but like Grindr tells you where your nearest gay man is. Do you think this is an app so you can find out where your nearest Tory is? So it saves them all having to go to, like, Mumford & Sons concerts.
I presume Grindr tells you where there is a gay man nearby who wishes to meet up, not where the nearest gay man is. That would be amazing.
Yeah, you do have to register for it. It doesn't just look at your iTunes.
Yeah.
I'm working on my version for gay women.
So he's going to make one for gay women?
Yeah. Muffler, I think I'm going to call it.
What sort of noise will it make?
No idea.
Moving on, why might the people of Kent have been hearing this noise in the last week?
It's the beluga whale, wasn't it?
It is the beluga whale,
Benny.
yes.
Benny the beluga. He doesn't know he's called Benny, by the way.
Of course he doesn't know. He didn't arrive in with a name tag.
No.
It's not a sperm whale, but it's probably swallowed so many condoms now it basically... I love it when you look at me like a disappointed father.
Yeah.
How do we know this isn't just like two Russians in a weird pantomime outfit?
Now we play a round called Boris Johnson's Bridge of Lies. This game involves Tom Allen and Milton Jones. If you could make your way to the performance area, please. This round is a style of challenge. I launch the wheel of news, and wherever it chooses to stop, one of our performers must step forward and talk about that subject. OK, here we go. Let's spin the wheel. The first subject is childhood.
Oh, okay. Well, hello. Anyway, childhood, yes. Now, I think the most stressful thing about being a child is if it's someone's birthday. I do think the social world for 9-year-olds is really quite exhausting. And say it was someone's birthday in your class. Say it was like Ryan's birthday. Ryan would have been bought a pad of pre-printed invitations on which he would have had to write his details. So you'd basically get an invitation which basically read, Ryan is having a birthday party on the 23rd of May! And then what would happen is you'd forget all about Ryan's birthday party until the day of Ryan's birthday party, and then your mum would walk in and go, oh, shit! It's Ryan's birthday party. We ain't bought him nothing. You can't go empty-handed. People will think we're poor. What is Ryan like? And this was a time in history when I'd say something like, oh, I don't know, maybe a Tamagotchi? My mum said, what the hell is a Tamagotchi? I'd say, well, it's just like a keyring. It's a bit of fun. Like, you've got to give it food and water, keep it alive, make sure it doesn't die. And I remember my mum saying, we've been doing that for you for 9 years! And then you'd be driven round to Ryan's house, complaining all the way. Your mum saying, you'll enjoy it when you get there, knowing full well you wouldn't. Right, you'd get there, you'd be allowed to walk up the path on your own. In the background, you'd hear the sound of meow, which was your parents deserting you for the afternoon with these strangers. Right, you'd ring the doorbell. Ryan's mum, Anne, would answer the door. Anne was having a very stressful time because Anne was organising the birthday party and the party bags. And party bags back then were very stressful. I'm sure party bags now are all just iPads and taramasalata. But back then, it was a tiny plastic bag and you had to fill it up with felt-tip pens, a box of Smarties, a tube of refreshers, and then a tiny game where you had to get a ball bearing into a hole. Which was enough. And Ryan's mum would say, come into my house. Then you have to go and play games, right? It was always like musical chairs, although what musical they were doing it from, I don't know. It was never Sondheim, was it? It was Agadoo, and then you had to have a birthday tea, which Anne would have organised resentfully. And a birthday tea back then would have consisted of crisps and chocolate together, which is disgusting. And pink wafers. Oh, pink wafers. Oh, they're so delicious, aren't they? They taste of, oh, pink. Oh. What are they made of? Sillet bang? Nobody knows. And then you'd have party rings. Oh, party rings. Never as much fun as they sound. What is a party ring anyway? It's basically just a dried-up biscuit covered in enamel. And just you're trying to get your teeth through that, suddenly the lights would go out, and I'd always think, oh, my God, are we being raided? But no, then what would happen is suddenly Anne would re-emerge, quite satanically underlit by flames. And she'd walk in going, ha, 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 ha. We don't have to sing Happy Birthday. It's probably the dreariest song in the world. It's supposed to be the happiest day of your year. Then Ryan would have to blow out his candles. So basically just spit all over it. Make a wish, Ryan, maybe for a dry cake. But you'd never get to try it because Anne would whisk it away into the kitchen, chop it up into chunks, shove it in a paper Transformers napkin, put all these chunks in their party bags, hand those out to everybody, then turn to everybody and go, get the hell out of my house!
OK, that leaves us with Milton. Let's see what your topic is. Let's spin the wheel. And the topic is jobs. There you go.
The first job I ever had was washing dishes in an international radar station, but the dishes were a lot bigger than I thought they were going to be. But that was quite a stir-fry we had. I remember the last words of my grandfather. He said, "You selfish boy." And not long after that, I became a fishmonger. Hopefully, I've got a book coming out soon. Shouldn't have eaten it, really. So much for Taylor Swift. She sent back my trousers unmended. Eventually. Horse whisperers. What they do is they go up to horses and they go... and the horses go, OK, fair enough. Beware Chinese horse whisperers. They go up to horses and they go... That horse tells another horse. That horse tells another horse. By the end, the last horse is going...
Again, and thanks to Come back. Our next round is called If This Is the Answer, What Is the Question? On the board are 6 categories. Geoff, which category would you like?
Could I go for sport, please, Dara?
OK, your category is sport, and the answer is 17 and a half. What is the question?
Is it how many alcoholic units my granddad thought it was safe to consume before driving?
Is it what's a sad number of giraffes to see on an open-top bus?
No.
Is it what's the biggest number any cast member of Love Island has ever thought of?
Is it how old was I when I realised I was too old to be telling people my age in fractions?
Is it due to a platform alteration? What platform is the Hogwarts Express now leaving?
Is it how long in minutes an avocado is ripe for?
Is it how old was I when I first... Actually, it doesn't matter.
Is it how many people turned up to Peter Andre's last tour?
Is it how many seconds Remainers waited before demanding a second referendum? I didn't expect that to work here.
Is it how many weeks before a gerbil has a midlife crisis?
Is it eating how many king-sized Mars bars in a row constitutes a cry for help?
Anyone know what the correct answer is?
Yeah. How might a tosser say 5:30? No, yeah, your actual answer is, I think, how many points did Europe get in the Ryder Cup?
Absolutely right. Thank you very much, Hugh. Yes, the question I was looking for was, what was the winning points tally for the European team in this year's Ryder Cup golf tournament? Europe thrashed the United States 17.5, 10.5 to regain the Ryder Cup at Le Golf National near Paris. Were you all gripped by the golf?
Oh, so gripped, Dara. I didn't actually see a lot of it. Tell me, did anyone manage to get it through the big windmill?
But it's, yeah, listen, again, I don't watch it any other time, at any other time of the year. But this one has a couple of things going for it. Because it's intercontinental, which is ludicrous, and we don't compete enough times intercontinentally.
It is funny, isn't it, that it's all of America, and because it's so big, we all need to gang up on it as Europe. It's like Mike Tyson versus 8 kids.
I know.
That's not started, because when it started, the Ryder Cup was just Great Britain versus America, and then we never, ever won. So we joined up with the rest of Europe, and now we win all the time. Can you think of any parallels?
Look at that picture of diversity. I mean...
That's not diversity.
No, it's not. There's 8 shades of blonde there. That's how diverse golf is.
You see the Europe player, Ian Poulter, they nickname him the postman because he always delivers a point. That's not what postmen do. That doesn't make any sense. Or, unless Ian Poulter delivers it next door or claims you weren't in.
In the final hole, puts that card, signs it, and just sticks it in the jar.
I think it's too hard a game to start playing. Like, most games I'll go and have a go at, but they should have, like, bumpers, like in bowling. Like, if you hit it down the fairway and it starts to go off, it just goes boing and comes back in.
It's on a giant bungee.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, like a sort of swing... What was that swing... What was swing tennis? What was it?
Swing ball.
Swing ball.
You were so close to it.
Swing tennis.
It's like being in the meeting in the 50s where they tried to come up with the name. Is it going to be swing tennis? No. Bally string. Roundy, bally, come back. What do we call it really is? Thing in the garden which slowly rusts.
It's an angle.
Yeah, and I got slightly... You're getting more disappointing angle. Summer by summer, we should really move
Toddler
that.
splatterer.
Yeah.
Let's name it after who it's for. Lonely Child.
There's a lot of kissing in this photograph. I think they're quite amorous, aren't they? These
Yeah, they're wives.
So the weird one at the end who's kissing his wife but has one eye still on the camera, which is...
I think he's one eye on the wife of the other player.
Yeah. He's already got a hole in one.
It's a very...
Now I know why it's called the Ryder Cup.
Yeah.
What... Moving on, who believes that they may have 1,000 siblings?
Oh, that bloke.
Next round.
Bloke, the sperm donor, wasn't it?
Yeah.
He's got... Yeah, this man, apparently, he gave away so much that he's now got 1,000 offspring.
Yep.
Which I think is environmentally very unfriendly, especially when you think how many of those little plastic cups he must have used.
I respect him. That is a man who has monetised his hobby.
Yeah.
Do what you love.
Yeah,
do what you love.
Do what you love.
Well, he thinks he's anonymous, but he's got one massive arm. It's not going to be difficult.
He's walking around... It's in Holland, this. He's walking into Holland like a fiddler crab. Just one giant claw. Oh, well, would you like me to take out your suit? Do you think?
Once upon a time, to have that many kids, you'd have to be like a fearsome warrior like Genghis Khan. Now all you've got to do is go to a clinic and wank into a yoghurt pot.
No, now I think you can't do it anonymously now.
What, you just have to do it in reception?
Yeah, you go, I'm sorry, wasn't there a booth or something? we needed it for storage.
Can you imagine Christmas afternoon when you've got 1,000 siblings sat there trying to watch, I don't know, Doctor Who's Christmas special? You think, shut up, number 27, I can't hear the Gallifreyans.
It's obviously very, like, virile and, you know...
Well, yeah, that's
the amount,
large.
the sheer volume that
Probably
man
fizzing.
Over years.
OK, it was me.
It is because presumably it said, yes, I am a trainee doctor and architect who competes internationally for Holland in basketball. I merely supplement my income by wanking into a cup 14 times a week.
Is that how it works, then?
Well, no, it has to be taken from there and used properly. The baby doesn't just come out the cup.
Very naive about all
I know this isn't our area of expertise.
Not something I've ever been...
No.
It's in some sort of container. It may not be formally a cup, but if it is, it better have world's #1 dad. At the end of that round, the point's going to Ed, Zoe and Tom! Now we come to scenes we'd like to see. So if everyone can make their way over to the performance area, I'll read out this week's topics, and then we'll see what our panelists can come up with. Right, here we go. The first subject is unlikely things to hear on daytime TV.
And with just a lick of paint and by removing that horrible rug, it's almost like you've got a new wife.
Today, on This Morning, there's no Holly, so, lads, you might as well turn across to Sky Sports News.
Breakfast news now. I had toast.
Today we'll be shoving the Foreign Secretary. Welcome to Barging Hunt.
The lighting system's up, the irrigation system is in place. It's time for Hash in the Attic.
Next, Boris Johnson's on Lorraine, and we can't get him off her.
And today there will be no Jeremy Kyle, unfortunately, because we've run out of dreadful people.
Next, it's Good Morning Northwest, or as it should be called, You right?
Join us after the break when we'll be making some street food. And in fact, Chef Anton is scraping something off the road right now.
Middle East property prices now in homes under the Hamas.
Next on Bargain Hunt, we've got a real relic from the 70s. Very rare, this. It's a referendum result people actually respected.
And now Michael Portillo with Great British Rail Replacement Bus Journeys.
This is Tipping Point. Yes, that's right, the moment Susanna Reid finally punches Piers Morgan in the face.
Hello, welcome to Bargain Celebrity Hunt, where I'm looking for bargain celebrities. I just found Jedward by the bins.
Oh, thank you, Piers. That was a very reasonable and well-thought-out opinion.
OK, the next topic is things you never hear in a school assembly.
And to those of you who wrote Mr. Ferguson's mobile telephone number on the wall of the girls' toilet, he would like to make it clear that the last digit is a 5 and not a 3.
And now, continuing our policy of religious diversity, we are going to sacrifice a goat to the great god Imhotep.
Ofsted man, he come. He says school not good.
Now, children, I know it's very, very nerve-wracking awaiting your results, but I've got some good news. My results are back. It's all clear. Wasn't chlamydia. Miss Lyons is back in the saddle.
Just a heads up for today's science exam, you will be required to create a vacuum. Yeah, no pressure. No pressure.
That's the Dara. I was just trying to impress Dara.
As many of you will know, this school has produced a lot of good actors. You know, parents who pretended to go to church in order to get their children into the school.
I will now read the register, and hopefully there are no more teachers on it.
Today is, of course, the big school outing, and so I'd like to invite all the gay and lesbian children to come to the front immediately.
And now a notice about school uniform. My wife will be wearing one this evening as it's my birthday.
And the caretaker has asked me to say, take care.
We have very strict rules on piercings. Only one kind is allowed. Jerome, show them your cock ring.
Students, I would advise you to sometimes just think about people less fortunate than you, because I always find it cheers me up.
Drinking, smoking, fighting. These are all 3 reasons for me to be very tired today.
I'd like to apologise for those students who saw that. Miss Jones has horribly misunderstood what Mufti Day means.
In an attempt to move with the times, Mrs. Smith is going to lead us in the rendition of Onward Christian Soldiers to the tune of Stormzy's Big for Your Boots.
As you know, I'm retiring after 40 years of teaching at this school, and this week you boys have made me realise that I've absolutely fucking wasted my life.
Stand around the boys for Zoe and Carr! That's the end of the show. This week's winners are Milton, Hugh Dennis and Geoff Norcott. Congratulations to Tom Allen, Zoe Lyons and Ed Gamble. Thanks for watching. I'm Dara O'Briain. Good night.